and thanks for tuning into my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a college survival guide. Now I actually graduated college last summer, and when I first started, these type of videos used to really help me out and give me good tips and advice. So I figured why not help other people who's already in college or just about to start. Now my first tip to surviving college is if receiving any, always make sure that your financial aid is straightened out before classes start. You always fill out your financial aid earlier before the classes start, probably in the summertime or wintertime, depending on the semester. But you always have to make sure everything is straight because along the way, a problem could arise and you wouldn't know. That's why I always want to stress the importance of checking your school email because the school emails provide you with all the updates you need about your personal information, your accounts, everything. And I always suggest the first day or 2 days of your semester, always go to your financial aid office and check and see if everything is correct and right with your account and your information. So you don't have to worry about, an unexpected bill in the middle of the semester. Second, be careful with the early morning classes. Now, I know a lot of people aren't morning people, so if you can, don't try to schedule 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. classes if you know you're not a morning person, or if you know you go to bed late and you sleep past your alarm clock and you have an 8 a.m. class, but you're waking up at 10:30. You don't want to do that because a lot of classes really put weight on attendance. And if you're always missing your classes, it's like there's no point. So always be careful when if you don't have no choice, try to come up with a plan to make sure you wake up on time for your classes. That's early in the morning. Next, always follow your first instinct when you come into a class and you meet a professor for the first time. Now, if you come into a class, get a vibe of the class, get a vibe of the professor, get a vibe of your other classmates, because you don't want to spend a whole semester in a class where you really feel like you're not prospering. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel a bad vibe from the teacher, if you feel a bad vibe from the class, don't stay in it. If it's a chance to, look on your registration, try to see if you can switch out the class, especially if it's a requirement. Because requirements are classes that you have to take regardless of your major. Then you have, when you finally declare your major, you have requirements for your major. Then you have electives, which is the classes that you have to fill in for those extra credits that's left behind after you do your major and requirements. Major requirements and then your regular requirements. Get a vibe of the class. Don't stay stuck in something you know you're not going to be conducive in. Or if you feel the teacher is giving off a bad vibe, don't stay in it. Look at the syllabus also. The syllabus on the first day lets you know what you're going to be doing for the whole semester. And usually it's a week by week basis of, okay, this week we're going to be doing this week we're going to be doing that, this week we have our tests, this week is the major, this week is the midterm, this week is the final. Always stay on top of that type of stuff and get a I'm telling you, this is really important. You got to get a vibe of the class so you don't stay, you know, you don't feel miserable in a class where you could have avoided if you would have just switched it on the first day that you met the teacher. Next is to always tying into this, always check ratemyprofessor.com. Now, if you don't know, ratemyprofessor.com is a website where you could go on, Google it. You can go on the website, look up your school, look up the teacher, and then look up the classes. And students that already took that class and that teacher can tell you everything that you need to know. Now, there is some bias on this website, but I found that this really helped me out when picking classes and teachers, what to avoid. And, they have ratings too, like a 5-star rating. So it lets you know if this teacher is popular or good with the students, or if they're not the best teacher. So if you know, do I have to avoid this teacher, or do I have a good chance of passing this class because this teacher, knows what they're doing, and they try to make the class not as easy as possible, but they try to make the class as conducive as possible, where everybody can pass, and they're not no harsh teacher, trying to make it extra hard just because it's college. So always check ratemyprofessor.com to see if you can avoid having a bad class or professor. Another thing I stress is to always try to put your best foot forward to do internships. Now, internships could be unpaid or paid. I would suggest a paid internship because who wants to work for free? Especially when you declare your major, because sometimes I know you might have an outside job, but when you finally declare your major, try to secure an internship within that field. Because think about it, you graduate college, you got your bachelor's or you got your master's, but then it's like all your experience is in, working in retail or, doing something else that's not related to that major. So it's like you got your degree, but you didn't do no type of internship. Sorry. You didn't do no type of internships relating to that major. So then it's like, oh, you don't have no type of job experience with that major. So then it's like, you apply in the companies and they're like, okay, that's great. You got your bachelor's, but what experience do you have with doing this, what you want to apply to? So I always stress the importance of whether it's over the summer or, over the winter, always try your best to do internships. Next thing is to surround yourself with like-minded, hardworking people. They can keep you on point. Now, if you're a hardworking person like I was, this won't really be a problem because you have that mentality to always get your work done, always stay on point, always stay on top of your stuff. But sometimes, you know, along the semester, you might tend to slack off, you might get overwhelmed, you might get tired. Surround yourself with people or classmates or associates that you know are like minded like you. They're not going to slack off. Or, well, it's time to study for a test. They check up on you. Did you study for that test yet? I have friends like that that really helped me out. Did you study for that test yet? Oh, did you start that assignment yet? Oh, did you register for classes yet? Something like that to keep you on point. Especially when you have to do, because I'm sorry about it, to the people who like working by themselves, you're going to come across those classes where they want you to work in a group. Now, when you come into a group, hopefully you can pick your own, group mates, but sometimes you get stuck with people who tend to slack off. So always try to surround yourself with people who are like-minded like you. So you don't have to pull all the weight for the group project and, everybody else is slacking, doing whatever, and you doing all the work. And when it comes time to present, you're the only one that knows what you're talking about, and everybody else is just standing there in the background. And you're like, you know what I'm saying? The teacher picks up on this type of stuff. So always surround yourself with people who are, go-getters like yourself. Another thing is to join clubs and volunteer as much as you can. Now, to be honest, I didn't really join any clubs and I really had the chance to volunteer, but I always did if I could. And with this experience, you can also meet cool new people and have a great experience than, going to classes every day and that's it. You join social clubs and you volunteer and you get out there and you do, donation drives, things like that. They help uplift your college experience. So you just don't feel like all you're doing is going to classes and eating lunch and that's it. Another thing is to never be afraid to ask for help. I have to stress this. Never be afraid to ask for help. Then this goes into whether it's with the class or you have personal issues at home. Most cases, you get assigned a dean or an advisor. You could go talk to them about your problems and they can help you figure out a plan. Especially if it's you have a feeling that you're going to be failing the class or you're not doing so hot in the class, go to the professor's office hours. They're there to help you. Even if the professor seems standoffish and a little mean, forget that. Go to the office hours, bug them, try to come up with a management plan with them so they can help you out. Because once those final grades are in, they're in. There's no going back. So if you can do something in the beginning of the semester or even slightly in the middle to avoid flunking out of the class, do that. Or go back to what I said in the beginning. If you feel like this class is not the best for you, go and rate my professor. Try to see before you register for it and see if you can pick another class that would be more beneficial to you in the end. And another thing is don't forget to have fun. Now, college can be stressful for everybody. You know, college is not meant to be, about parties and everything like that. But if you get a chance, go to a party, have fun, go out with your friends. College is a time, this is like a major milestone of your life when you get to meet new people and things like that. So don't, put off fun for just studying all the time when you can be actually enjoying yourself. And try to find that work-life school balance. I know a lot of kids, a lot of students, even other teachers have side jobs. They go to college and they balance a job. Because I know in my last 3 years of college, I was able to balance two different jobs while still attending school. You just got to make sure your schedule is flexible enough to do that. But try to find that balance in between going to school and going to work and having, a fun social life. So you don't feel so trapped. And then because after that, college will become miserable. Nobody wants that. And then, I skipped this, but I just seen it. The other thing I have to say is don't let procrastination get the best of you. Now, we all procrastinate. I procrastinated. You procrastinated in high school, middle school, and you're going to do it in college. This is going to be those times where you just don't feel like doing nothing. You've been in class all day. You want to come back to your dorm room, or if you commute to school from your house, you want to come home and just lay down and relax. But for example, if you know you have a test on the 20th, and they told you about the test on the 7th, don't wait until the 19th to start studying. You got an essay on the 25th. Don't wait until the 24th to cram it and do it all in one night. I know I had a lot of, classmates that used to do that. That's not going to give you the best results. My plan that I used to do is studying, or whether I had to study for a test or write an essay, but then a week before, they always tell you about these things, assignments, 2 weeks ahead of like the time that is due. So my plan was to always, day by day, try to, do a little bit here or write a first draft on paper, or, this is going to be a grace periods where you have times in between classes to relax. Go to the school library, try to start up your first drafts and try to, put yourself ahead of the game so you don't be cramming for a big psychology test the night before. That's not going to be beneficial for you. Things like this can help you. You can procrastinate, but things like this or tips like this or little plans that you have in your head throughout the days leading up to the test or the essay can help you manage your time better. So in the end, you get good results. You get an A, you get a B plus, instead of getting a C or a F because you rushed it at the last minute. Or you flunked the test because you tried to cram it all in one night. That's another thing. Do not cram for a test all in one night. Try to study every other day. Don't spend hours studying, but every other day, look over your notes. Look over the PowerPoints, look over the slides. Go to the office hours with the teacher. Have them, talk to you about the topics that you're not on. You know what I'm saying? So in the end, you pass. That's it. Because college is all about balancing, your academics and your social life. You don't want to have one up here and the other down there. You know what I'm saying? So these are just my main tips on, doing great and excelling in college. I graduated last summer, like I said, and I just had this all in my mind. And I thought I would just share it with people who's about to start college or who's already in college. And you can go away with this, take some tips with you, to help other people or to help yourself. Now, please leave, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And leave me, let's talk about it in the comments. Tell me anything that you think I missed, or, other tips you can give for people who's in college, whether you're in college or whether you already graduated, so we can keep this discussion going. Thank you.